行くぞはっジェノサイカッタ
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and today I'm going to talk about the best gold border characters for RHD. But before we get into that, I want to explain some things about RHD and how this works in this. So in RHD, I'm at tier 47. You're going to need certain colors and certain attributes to be able to take on these stages. So for example, in this first stage, penalties apply to all team members when including fighters that aren't blue element. So you just need a team of blue fighters, and it doesn't matter if they're defense, attack, or balance. It doesn't matter what type they are. As long as they're blue, you won't take a penalty and you'll be good to go. The other thing about this is the only thing that really matters whenever you're facing RHD is your awakened level. So I'm at tier 47, and it tells you applies team penalty if the team average awakened level is lower than 46. Now, in my experience, you could take teams that were like 2 levels below, so level 45, and still get through it, although at the very end, you might need your awakened level to be at that 46 level as an example. Now, the thing about this is when you're setting up your teams, you're going to need all 5 colors. So you're going to need purple, red, yellow, blue, and green. But if you set up specific type teams, you'll be able to get through all of the content. You can essentially set up 15 total characters, whether they're fest and gold all together, to be able to this or just gold, it doesn't matter, to be able to do this. Now, fest characters are going to be better. They're stronger. They have better stats. They usually have better effects for survivability and things of that nature. But there are some gold border characters that can actually get it done. Now, you actually need, for tier 41, you need a purple attack team. So that's your purple team. You need, for tier 43, you need a red balance team. That's your red team. For tier 45, you need a yellow attack team. That's your yellow team. And then for tier 47, you need a blue defensive team. That's your blue. And then for tier 49, you need a green defensive team. And what I mean by what I was talking about earlier is, for example, at tier 36, you have to take on a red boss and you need a balanced team. So your red balanced team can actually do that. At tier 37, you need a defensive team, and it's a colorless boss. It has no color. So your blue defensive team or your green defensive team can easily do it, and so on and so on and so on. So if you have 5 teams with these specific typings and colors, you'll be good to go. So again, you'll need a purple attack, a red balance, a yellow attack, a blue defense, and a green defensive team. Now let's talk about the characters, and we got old girl right here as one example. So we'll start off with the purple attack team, and I'll kind of give you guys my rankings on what is the best characters. I can tell you all right now ahead of time that the collab characters are usually just going to be the best. Genjuro would absolutely be number 1 for this, easily, because of his, he's just got insane survivability, insane damage. He has the hyper armor, he's got the crazy core, all kinds of good stuff. This guy is just insane. He even has a stun, a 40% chance to stun the enemy for 3.5 seconds, including when they guard, which is very handy in RHD because a lot of times those bastards will guard. And if you stun them, you can just break their guard and screw them up. He also has a 40% chance to ignore target's guard upon lane skill. He's just an insane character, honestly. Easily number 1, like by a long shot here. And then Takasugi here would be absolutely insane as well, because he does have a core effect where he does gain super armor when he's being attacked, and he just has a lot of insane damage. He has 2 skills that actually can, well, he has 1 skill to actually ignore guard, or 50% chance to ignore guard. He's got the damage buffs. Just a really great character for it. Now, let's talk about the characters that you actually have in the game. And some of these might be a surprise to you guys, but Rio here is insane. This is a character I actually used in the very beginning of RHD. He is insane because every time he does his 3rd skill, and this is on a low cooldown, he gets super armor because of his core. That is nice for 5 seconds when he uses the 3rd skill. That is dope. So he has insane survivability, not to mention that his leadership, increased purple element fighter attack by 50%, is great. So he's an insane character for this. Heihachi is actually really good. He doesn't have any native super armor. And something I want to make clear about any character that you can use, you could use any of these characters. And RHD, as long as you have the high enough awakened level, your character can put in work. But you might have to finagle their strikers, finagle their cards, to where they have some super armor or some kind of maybe a stun striker, some kind of CC striker that can lock your opponents down, so that way you can do damage to them. Some of these characters just aren't that easy. Like, for example, with Ryo and Genjiro, you can go full force. Even Takasugi, because of their core effects, you can just go full force and attack, attack, attack. Even Shermie here is actually really freaking good because she does have native super armor. She has native super armor, and she has the PG rate. This actually goes up when you level it up, and then she obtains 12% power at the start of the stage. And she has the 3 PG available for her. And grab skills do work in RHD, so Shermie here is actually an insane character. Even Lady Yashiro here is really good. She doesn't have super armor, but again, if you build the character, say you put a KS set on a character. If you put a KS set on a character, this set can actually give them super armor when you're tagging them in. And in RHD, you do tag in your characters. It might not be the ideal set, but I can tell you all, in RHD, all that really matters is your awakened level. That's it. So say I threw this set on Lady Yashiro, which isn't even optimal for her. You're still going to be able to put in work. You bring her in, you got the super armor, or maybe you need a healing striker. She can definitely put in work, and she has a great leadership. Not the best by any means. Even Kula here can put in some good work for you because of her core effects. She has these nice core effects where she gets 50% chance to freeze the enemy for 1 second when she's attacked. And she also has a freeze, so she has CC. This is actually really good. And her leadership isn't bad, but honestly, Ryu, Lady Yashiro is just going to be a lot better, unless maybe you're using a Fest character. So those are some really good characters that you could use. I mean, again, you could use any of these characters as long as you're using the right card set to give them super armor, or you're using a striker to give a CC effect, something of that nature, so that you're able to do damage to those other opponents. Now let's talk about the red balance team. Okay, so these are red balance gold border characters, and again, collabs are going to be reigning supreme. Hijikata here will be numero uno. In fact, look at where I have level 40. This is a character I used for RHD. And he's just an insane character with the hyper armor. I mean, this is an insanely low cooldown, so his survivability is insane. And something to know, guys, look, this is what I mean by awakened level is all that matter. I didn't even have his cores leveled up. And used him for RHD. I don't have any imprint stones on this character. I don't have nothing. I don't even have him leveled up. I don't even have his infinity leveled up, which actually gives you extra critical damage when you level this up to 10, and you get some extra attack. And that's what I mean. You know, when it comes to RHD, you just need the character to have the right awakened level when you're fighting. So all of them can be useful. Every one of them can be used. It's just some are better than others because of super armor, hyper armor, and certain core effects, CC effects. So Hijikata, number 1. Jeanette, I would put it number 2. Jeanette, freaking insane. Great leadership, increased balance type fighter attack by 60%. That's an awesome leadership. And then she has the 50% chance to gain super armor when she's attacked. So you could actually put a CC striker with this girl, and she will get it done. She's great, guys. Seriously, Jeanette, man, waifu big time. And like I said, all these characters can do it, but those are easily the 2 best. There's not really a lot of options here, to be perfectly honest, as far as the best characters, but characters that have super armor and hyper armor, they're really going to be a little bit better, because then you could use like CC strikers or maybe healing strikers, because if you have super armor, your skills aren't going to get interrupted. Those would be the best options in my opinion, and again, you could use any of them. Now let's talk about the yellow attack. So for the yellow attack team, Okita will be number 1. Okita has the immunity. He also has super armor. Just an insane character. Really freaking nutso. And look at him, guys. Again, I used this character for my yellow attack team. All I did was awaken his level to level 40. And you can do the same for a lot of the other characters as well. It's not something I recommend, but you don't need to level up their cores. As you can see, I used them for my yellow attack team. No affinity, nothing like that. Say number 2 would probably be John. John here is actually really good. And because you can use your grab skills in RHD, John becomes very, very viable. Character that we got for free a long time ago with the increased all attack fighter attack by 45%, power charge rate by 20%. He also has native super armor. He also has stun. He has the, interrupt skill. He's really a great character. And he also has a 3PG. Terrific character for this. I actually used Benny Marl for a long time. Terry you get for free. You can use all these characters. Maximus here has super armor from his core. Mei Lee's actually really good. She has a nice leadership. She would be a really great character. No super armor, but she has lots of damage. And again, you could just give her a certain card set that has super armor. You could have a CC striker and so on and so on. So Akita would be number 1. I think John would be number 2. And then I'd probably go with Mei Lee and then whatever afterwards, to be perfectly honest with you guys. Let's talk about blue defense. So blue defense is interesting. Jin obviously is going to be number 1. I know, guys, I'm sorry, but the collab characters that they brought in the game previously are just really great for this. Jin's number 1. Hyper armor, stun, 3PG card. Gentoki is going to be number 2. He has a 5PG card, but he does have native super armor in his kit. Great, lots of damage from this character, attack buffs based on defense and so on and so on. And then it gets really interesting as far as what characters you can go with. Now, I can tell you all right now that Shizuru here and actually Shermie are really good for Immortal Vulcan, just to throw it out there. But Shizuru actually does have this crazy leadership that's great for Immortal Vulcan. Increase blue element fighter attack by 45%, power charge rate by 20%. And she will be decent in the RHD because she does get immunity. She has no native super armor, but you're going to have to give her some super armor cards, just like we talked about earlier. And then she has the deals additional attack damage to 440%. She would be an excellent choice also. Yori is a character that I'm going to be using. If you look at my memories here, and now we have a roulette going on right now where we can get memories for her, she's going to be on my team. She can definitely do work for you. Your core effects, she has the gain super armor for 3 seconds when HP is 7% or less on a 12-second cooldown. So she actually gets super armor from her skills. She even has a freeze, and this is going to go up when you level this up. And then she has this nice little attack buff for attack and defense. Either way, it's going to bump up her damage. I mean, with RHD, there's a lot of leeway with the characters that you use. I mean, Shizu, you actually get him from the Epic Quest. You can actually farm his memories, which I'm doing currently right now. I actually farm Epic Quest every single day and farm his memories that you can actually get from the exchange shop. He doesn't have any native super armor, but he does have a 3PG card that you get from the Epic Quest. And I'm just going to, because he's a defensive character, I'm just going to give him a KS set. And even if he wasn't, like I said earlier, RHD only cares about awakened levels. You know, putting optimal card sets and all that is nice and it definitely helps, but you don't need it. As you all saw with Okita and Hijikata, you just don't need your characters leveled up. They just need to have their awakened levels. That's it. And just something to throw out there, Whip here actually might be really good for Immortal Vulcan. She does have a nice long 5PG, but she's got a heal. She's got a heal that heals all of the characters, and she has an insanely long 5PG, just to throw it out there. And she's got 30% PG rate. Wow. So with a good PG rate leadership like Shizuru, you can do pretty good. And she'll do really well in RHD as well because she does have a stun. She has CC. And that's a guaranteed stun and the heal. Healing all of your team members. So she'd actually be a really good choice as well. I mean, again, guys, you could use all of these characters. I mean, Jin, number 1, Gentoki, and then I'd probably go with Yuri, and then Shizuru and Shizu. But again, Shizu, you can farm for free. We got a roulette going on right now for Yuri. Definitely should be trying to get memories for her. Let's talk about the green defensive team. Okay, so green defensive is actually a hurting category. So the best characters here are definitely Kondo and Amakusa. They are the best. They have native super armor. Kondo's just, I mean, guys, he's the gorilla, right? He's the gorilla. He's the absolute tank that just heals and heals and heals when he's being attacked. He just doesn't die. Crazy, crazy character, but he has no super armor in his kit. So you would maybe have to have a super armor striker, which we do have. And then Amakusa has native super armor in his kit, actually really good. So the green defensive team is hurting quite a bit. Your best character, actually, in my opinion, is Mei Lee here. Mei Lee is actually damn good for this because she has super armor on 2 freaking skills, an interrupt skill, and she has a 100% chance to ignore the guard. So when they're guarding, she can break the guard super easy. She also has really good damage for a defensive character. And again, you throw a KS set that's going to synergize with this defense. That's one thing about defensive characters. The KS set really synergizes super well with them. And plus they get super armor for 5 seconds every time they get tagged in. And even though Mei Li doesn't do it, the KS set would still bump her up. She'd be number 1 in my opinion. And then it's going to have to go with Kondo and Amakusa. And Yashiro here, you actually get for free in the game. You actually farm for memories. He does have a 3 PG card. And he does have a stun, so he does have a CC effect. He can actually put in work. Yashiro can definitely get it done for you. Again, guys, with all of these characters, you can make all of them work in RHD. As long as you have the right CC striker for the specific character that you're using, or you're using the right card set on those characters to really make them shine. For example, like with Mature here. Mature, I was using Mature and RHD in the very beginning. I just ended up getting Fest characters. I'm a mini whale, an orca, right? So I have Fest characters that I leveled up, but this girl could have absolutely done it. She's got a great leadership for green fighters, and she has a lot of bleed. But if you give her a KSS, she'll have super armor when she comes in, and then you could give her a different, like a CC striker, and she will get it done. I used to use her all the time. So I can't stress enough that you can make any of these characters work. If I didn't mention one of your characters, I didn't want to go through every single character and all these gold border characters. Otherwise, we'd have been here for an eternity. But I just wanted to go over maybe like my top picks as far as gold border characters for RHD. And guys, something to mention is, say you had, just for example, these 3 characters right here. They can do your RHD. That would be your green defensive team for RHD. They could absolutely do it. It's not going to be easy if you're just using all gold border characters, but they can do it. So let me know about the picks that I've chosen for the gold border characters. Let me know what gold border characters you're using for RHD. And as always, let me know what characters you've gotten, what cards you've gotten. And I stream on Twitch at 3 p.m. GMT plus 7 time. The link will be in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one.